Should you be consuming dairy products when you have lipedema? This is a broad recommendation applied to an entire patient population, and that just doesn't make sense because the science here is really mixed. And the reasons why people avoid dairy really need to be broken down. The ethical issues are up to you. I'm not here for that debate. If you don't want to do dairy, don't do dairy. I just want you to make decisions that are rooted in the science so that you make the best nutritional decisions for your body based on research and not on these perpetuated, misinformed ways of doing things. So we're going to break this down a bit. If you are avoiding dairy because you are scared about the hormone load, let's talk about that, because dairy products are not all the same, even in how they impact hormone levels. So we as humans store hormones in our fat, and so do cows. When you eat dairy products that are higher fat or full fat, you're getting higher concentrations of hormones in those foods. So know that if you choose to do dairy and you are concerned about hormones because maybe you have PCOS or you're really estrogen dominant, then maybe you want to choose non-fat dairy products like non-fat Greek yogurt instead of full-fat Greek yogurt, for example, would have less hormones. So that's sort of one issue. The other reason that people will often avoid dairy is GI upset, because it can be hard to digest dairy for many, many people. Lactose intolerance is very, very common in certain ethnic groups and as we age. And so if dairy is hard on your GI system, then I would recommend selecting dairy products that are fermented or aged. So yogurts or kefir or aged cheeses are much better for digestibility and nutritional value and lowering inflammation than products that are not. The other bigger issue at play here is when we tell people to avoid entire food groups like dairy, the biggest question is what will replace it? And oftentimes what I have seen over my many years of practice is that it's replaced by foods that are even less healthy. There are some great alternatives out there, but I will say very many substitutes and plant-based yogurts and cheese substitutes, they're just full of preservatives and guar gums and added sugars and things that we can't pronounce. So there is a bit of a trade-off here, and I wanted you to be able to make informed decisions and know that traditional processing like fermenting and aging really make the digestibility of dairy products better. And just because we have lipedema does not necessarily mean we are estrogen dominant. If that was the case, women would not be having an uptick in lipedema when they go through menopause where estrogen drops. So I want you to be able to reason that in your head and really understand the science here and know that this depends on your body and how you feel. If you're scared about the hormones, then maybe non-fat yogurt is best for you. You can make it more satiating or more giving you more fullness by adding chia seed or flax meal to it or something like that and go for the non-fat version. If you're like me and you're post-menopause and you're not really concerned about the hormones anymore, then maybe full-fat dairy is more satisfying because it takes a little bit longer to digest. If you have GI issues related to dairy, go for the fermented kefir or some yogurt, or try hard aged cheeses. They're going to be easier to digest, and honestly, they're better for your gut and your inflammation. I hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, reach out. If you're interested in testing so that you know what your body reacts to, give me a holler and I will respond to you. See you later. Bye-bye.